welcome. I'm Bonnie Fanning, copywriter here at American Writers and Artists Institute, and welcome to the Writers Bonfire. As you can see, I'm all dressed up, toasty warm, indoors in my home office here in Bend, Oregon, ready for a bonfire. So come in, grab a marshmallow stick and a beverage, and get cozy. Because, hey, do you ever start to lose motivation for your writing towards the end of the year? Well, most of us do. So stay tuned because we're about to give you some fuel to end the year strong with hot motivational secrets from some of our favorite writers, marketers, and more. And stick around because we have a very special guest today. She's one of the best known copywriters in the world, and she's here to give us 3 secrets to a successful life as a freelance writer. So stick around for that. Who do you think it is, by the way? Leave a comment and we'll see if you guessed right. Also, let us know where you're watching from. We would love to see where you're coming in from today. Melissa is in the comments and she's going to be there, just answering questions and saying hello to everybody today. So, and I'm also going to give out some prizes. This is our first big, YouTube exclusive event for AWAI. So I'm going to be giving out some AWAI swag. And I'm also going to give one person who's watching right now full access to our flagship program, the AWAI method for becoming a skilled in-demand copywriter. So more on that in just a minute, but just make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you want to be entered to win prizes while you're here, and grab your drink and get cozy and get ready to hear from our very first guests today. We have AWAI President Rebecca Matter and our very own Executive Director, Katie Yinkle. Hi, Katie and Rebecca.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome. Thanks for coming on.
We're so
Katie and Rebecca are... Sorry, go ahead, Katie.
We're just so happy to be here and we're together.
Yeah.
So that makes it extra fun. So great.
I know. It's so great to see you guys together. So these gals are in Florida right now, so they don't need the hat and the flannel currently.
Although I did come here from Austin 2 hours ago where it was 39 degrees this morning. So my body is super confused.
Yeah, sure. What's it doing in Florida right now?
It's a beautiful warm day.
It's a Chamber of Commerce day, as they say.
Perfect. Of course. Okay, so thank you guys for being here. As you know, this is a bonfire, so it's going to be just this casual chat among friends. And to keep it fun and friendly, I'm going to ask each participant a surprise question. Just a fun little
we have surprises.
getting to know you type question. All right, so we're going to start with that. And then I'm going to ask you each for some tips about writers and keeping their motivation going towards the ends of the year. Okay. So first of all, your question, Katie, I think I know the answer to this maybe, but beach or mountains?
Oh, that's hard.
I want that one.
Yeah, I mean, I love them both. Could I do half the year one and half the year the other?
You have to pick one.
I have to pick
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
it's like saying that which one with my kids. They
Right.
make you make a decision.
Sophie's choice here.
Mhm.
How often can I go on vacation to the others?
Well, I'd say you live your normal life, but let's say you could buy a cottage, but you already live by the beach. So if you could buy a cottage at the beach or on the mountains. Okay.
Mountains.
That makes sense. Okay, Rebecca, cats or dogs?
Dogs. I am
Dogs.
inside tip. I'm deathly allergic to cats, I found out. And I used to have a cat. I know. Come to find out, deathly allergic. Shouldn't have cats. I should have a dog.
And she's
I have
got 2 big ones and cute ones.
Huge
2
ones.
big slobbery dogs.
Lovey dogs. Yes.
Okay, so in the comments, cats or dogs? This is open to debate. Go ahead. All right, so the reason we're here.
Poor kitty cats. Now, for the record, I do love me a good kitty cat.
Oh.
But I do love dogs more. Sorry.
Yeah, actually, that is one where I do actually love both. I do love cats and dogs, and that's a tough
All right,
one.
Bonnie, you have to pick.
You have to pick
one.
Well, I guess I'm going to pick dogs because I have 2 dogs, and I wouldn't want to give them up for a cat, but I do also like cats.
All right.
So in the comments, somebody said dats.
Is that a
Very
cross between a
tricky.
dog and a cat?
I think so. We have dogs, both. I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. Great Danes, dog and cat.
Ooh, Great Danes. They're so cool.
Yes. All right, so people are saying hello from all over the place. Hi, guys. It's so great to see you over here on YouTube. Love the fire pit.
We're not used to being here. This YouTube place is so
What is this place? Okay, so the reason we're here, one of the reasons we're here, besides just hanging out with everybody, is to help people stay motivated through the end of the year. We're really there, right? We're like right at the end. But do you guys have any specific tips for writers to keep themselves moving forward through the end of the year and into? Yes, Rebecca, go.
It's a bit like a game.
Right.
I buzzed in first. So I got this insight from Ted Capshaw, who's our Chief Success Officer, who talks a lot about mindset.
Yes.
A lot at AWAI. And this is one of the biggest insights that I got last year. And it was about how to finish the year strong. I'm like, Ted, how are we going to like finish the year strong at AWAI? How do I motivate AWAI writers to finish the year strong? He's like, you don't. Because January 1st is only the day after December 31st. And if you think of it as the end of the year, there's a lot that happens psychologically, like, I didn't do enough. It's there. I don't have enough time. Time is running out. It comes to an end, right? But if you think of it as a turn, and all we're doing is just turning to the new year, we're just moving one day forward, all of a sudden, what you didn't get done this year is just a continuation tomorrow.
Sure.
So my first big piece of advice is to not allow this thing to become a massive weight on you. Like, yes, we should reflect. Yes, we should celebrate the wins we've had all year. But the reality is we're going to keep going tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And there's freedom in that, not knowing that there's no finish line, that you just keep going. And that's my biggest.
And with that, it's not like you're stopping and then have to start.
And then you got to start again.
That's
starting
so
is hard. I actually find starting harder than finishing strong.
Yeah. And
yes.
For me, what I would say is, and it definitely complements that, is, you know, especially at this time of year, there's so many distractions. There's so many easy ways to eat too much, drink too much, you know, do all the too muches. So if everybody, and this is something I try to do, I'm not perfect at it, but to keep a routine of self-care. And I think when you do that, you don't have the big crashes or it doesn't become so overwhelming. So if you're getting, you know, sleep, if you're drinking water, and if you're still exercising and you're still taking some time for your writing practice, and it is a practice, something you have to do every day, you really don't let that stop. Again, like that ties in with Rebecca, you're just going to roll into the next year with momentum.
I love that too, because if you fall off like the routines, it's so much harder to start. It does feel like this whole, like I have to lift it again. But if you just continue on through, there's no restart. And the restart is the hardest start.
Yeah.
That's so perfect. Although you did just kind of explode my entire premise here. Motivation for the end of the year. No, but I love that actually, because I think about that all the time. Like, you know, we think about like, oh, I'm going to start eating well, but I'm going to do it on Monday, or I'm going to do it on the first of the month.
You splurge up until then, you know, and it's like,
if you fall off on day 7,
I've heard people do that. That's what I've heard on the street.
And then if you fall off on day 7, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I failed again. It's like we had this conversation, Bonnie, a few weeks ago, day 1 or one day, right? Like every day can be day 1. We can have a New Year's Day every day if we want to. If we're not happy with the way things are going, let's start tomorrow. Let's start January 14th. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
The key is just to start and then keep going from here on out. Don't think of this like dead end thing. We're just going to develop good habits and keep on going. And if we fall off and it's July 4th, no, let's do July 7th, because July 4th already has a thing. We'll just start back up on July 8th, and that's okay too.
Yes. Yes. I love that. Just keep starting up no matter what, and don't put too much pressure on yourself. Like this person, Iron Dogger, is saying, I keep falling off track. And you know, we can hear that a lot, right?
So here's something that Bonnie and I always talk about. And Bonnie, sorry if I'm like helping bring in some personal stuff, but like we both like systems and creating new things and starting. Like one of the reasons I think I will always be a fit person is I like to start something new. I always like it's Pilates or it's running or it's tennis or whatever it is. And I'm always like super into the thing. Like this is the thing. And I used to think that was a bad thing about myself. Like I would never finish anything. I never got really good at something. And then again, it's mindset, right? Cynthia, who said it's mindset. I like to start something. I feel good. I feel the best at that liftoff phase. So maybe the tip for the one who's falling off track is that's just who you are. So maybe just keep on getting back on the bike and come up with new ways. So like Brian and I the other day, we're talking about productivity hacks and things like that. Just come up with a new hack that's working for you today, knowing that you're probably going to fall off of it, at which point you will find a new productivity hack. And that's if you just bridge them together. It stops becoming fall off the track and get back on the track, and recognizing that you're more of like creating bridges to the next pattern that you're creating.
I love that.
And for some reason, visually, that just helps us not feel like we're failing. Like I didn't finish my running career. No, I picked up tennis. I picked up Pilates. Writing, I fell off the track, or I just found a new way of doing something, and I'm bridging to that opportunity instead.
And I think it's so important to stop just the negative self-talk, like falling off and, all that stuff. It just comes with this weight and this guilt and this shame or, whatever it is. So no, you're trying new things. You're trying out a new schedule. You're trying out a new place to write or a new format, or, whatever it is, it's trying new things that become bridges that are going to connect you where you're going.
Yeah. We're on it.
You're totally on it.
Right now, you and I are communicating brain to brain without even speaking. And there's like going to be something that comes out from AWAI in the next 30 days. You will remember this conversation.
And we will announce it
on YouTube.
Stay tuned.
Yes. So everybody who's watching here, you guys, I mean, a lot of you folks already know Katie and Rebecca already. So
maybe you know. We want to know you. What can you ask about them that they could post?
Tell us. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a question? Well, first of all, we're getting a lot of motivational tips from folks here. Discipline is the fuel to your success. Although I do like this. Every day is gratitude day.
Hi, Ingrid.
Hi, Ingrid. That is, I love that every day. That's how I end the day and how I start the day.
And what a thing to be grateful for, that you get to spend your day writing and help. And because writers really help people. And so basically, you're helping people. So it's wonderful.
Oh, I love that little visual too, like just connecting to what you said earlier about doing something for yourself. So even if, let's say, writing isn't your full-time thing yet, but you're able to steal 20 minutes away every single day, that's just yours. Like make that a goal of every day.
Time.
Like meditation is a big thing for me. I fall off of it all the time. Although I'm going to rephrase that because of what Katie said. I restart it all of the time. I love it though. And when I do it, I feel like it's like this little tiny thing that I get to do. So even that like could be your writing habit of just stealing away every day from 12 to 12:30. I'm going to go sit in my car and I'm going to write to get away from everything else that's happening. Just that consistency.
I love what Melissa's saying. She is Grace herself.
She is Grace herself.
I know, Melissa, you're the best. All right, guys. So one more comment here. We are all so good at negative self-talk.
Oh, good, right, Holly? We're like the best at it. We need to become pro negative self-talkers.
But
all you need is, like Holly said here, the best energy from Katie and Rebecca.
But just back to that negative, what if, just imagine your world, if that negative self-talk was actually positive self-talk. I mean, what would that be like? Like, you're so great. You can do this. I think it'd be a wonderful gift to give yourself.
So 2 pieces of homework then on that. 1, everybody start just write out a couple of things like that you would have posted in the comments, write out about your year, and then go back and edit and circle anything that you feel could be deemed negative self-talk.
Yes.
Because the first part of it is acknowledging and recognizing when you're doing it. I used to do this a lot and I didn't recognize it until I was talking to someone and I was telling her a story and I was like, and then I told myself, Rebecca, you're being stupid. Like that is ridiculous. And she goes, hold on. Would you tell Katie or your best friend that they're being ridiculous? Imagine what that would feel like. I'm like, no, I would never say that. She's like, I know. So why are you saying it to yourself? And in that moment, I never even realized that I was a negative self-talker. So that's one piece of homework, is to circle all of that. And then I love this idea of positive. Could you go back and correct it and put in positive? There was a really fun story. I think it was Christina Gillick. Actually, if you're out there, Christina, I love your story. She was trying to come over this at one point of her life, and she intentionally used positive self-talk. Like she would look in the mirror and say things like, I can't, this isn't one of her examples, but something like, I have to make dinner. No, I get to make dinner. I get to pick out everything everyone's going to eat tonight, and it's going to be amazing. She said she did it so much that she felt like her ego got a little too inflated. She's like, you are an amazing writer. Look at you. You're so good. And it became like 3 months later, it became part of who she was.
You carry yourself differently.
Yeah.
You speak.
I love that. Reframe everything.
Yeah.
I get to make dinner.
Conscious of it, and then figure
That's
out
perfect.
how you can spin it positive. This is a good writing exercise.
Yes.
We should do a
That
writing
is.
exercise.
Wait. Before we pull too much stuff in, first of all, I have to move on really quickly in just a second to our next guest. I know it was so fast, but I just want to make sure we end on that super, super positive note that you guys brought in there. Like, just reframe everything and make everything a positive. Like, give yourself positive self-talk for anything and everything.
We're not Pollyannas. We know that stuff happens and struggles, and there's all this stuff.
But it's the talk. But imagine when you find the struggles. I think the difference is when you acknowledge a struggle, acknowledge it. Do not pretend that it's not raining outside. If it's raining, it's raining. Just call it a day. It's raining. But then treat yourself how you would if it was a friend going through it. So rather than, I messed up again, I fell off track. You always fall off track. You would never say that to someone that you care about. So that's the thing I want you to change is acknowledge the things that happen or the disappointments that you like, you know what, maybe the year didn't end up the way you wanted. Fine. But what would you tell a friend who told you their year did not end up the way that they wanted? What advice would you give them? If you can do that to yourself, I have a feeling you'll move forward. It's just positive, happier.
Right.
I'm writing it down because Anita says choose positivity. Love it. I'm writing that down because I'm going to have you back on the show, Rebecca and Katie, each of you. And we're going to pull out one of these topipics and we're just going to do an hour-long session on it.
What a cool bonfire idea. You should do.
Yeah. Get out of here.
This is like all your topics for YouTube.
Yeah.
I know. This is how we're going to just do everything from now on. Just go live, see what people say, and then we're just going to make it happen. So,
yay! Have fun. This was so awesome.
Yay.
So
thank you so much,
everybody. And we'll be seeing you on YouTube.
Yay. Yay. Thanks so much for dropping by.
Bye. Have fun.
Guys. All right, everybody. That was Katie and Rebecca, who are our top cheerleaders here at AWAI. Not Pollyannas, but the best cheerleaders that you could ever hope to have. So next up, I'm going to bring on 3 very special guests, the team behind our Barefoot Writer magazine and club. We have Mindy McHorse. Hi, Mindy.
Hi. Hello, everybody.
We have
Hi, Bonnie.
Hi. We have Rachel Kraft. Hi, Rachel.
Hey, everybody. Hi.
And we have Robert Rice. Hi, Robert.
Hey everyone.
Hi. Okay, I know that Mindy has to run here in just a minute, but before you guys go, I need to ask you each an icebreaker question, a strange question about yourselves, and I need to ask you about your motivation for the end of the year. So, Mindy, I'll start with you because I know that you're going to have to run before long. So, are you ready for a weird, wacky question?
10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes before kid pickup. Hit me.
Okay. All right, Mindy, what was your first job?
Like, not writing job, just job in general?
Ever. Just your first job.
Ooh, it actually set the stage for a lot of my future writing jobs. It was working at a little grocery store that's a lot like Whole Foods, but it was called Wild Oats. It was a tiny natural Whole Foods grocery store here in town, and introduced me to all kinds of weird foods and, cashier tricks. And I loved it, but that's because I was 16 and it meant a little bit of money in my pocket.
Yes. Yes. Did you get deals on things? Did you get to take home free products or anything cool like that at the end of the day?
I think I got a discount, so I think I ate a lot of organic chocolate bars.
And pie.
Yeah, at 16, I wasn't really going for the artichoke yet, but the candy bars, even though they were healthy, I got a discount.
Yes. All right. So I also have to ask you too one of these questions. Robert, maybe you already do, but if you could speak any other language, what would it be?
I already speak Japanese.
Oh, wow, that's so
Fun
cool.
fact.
Do that?
You didn't? Oh yeah, no. I studied it in college, and I lived in Japan for 2 years. I taught English there,
Oh.
and well, I'm a little rusty these days because that was a little while ago. But but yeah, I can speak Japanese.
Do you have a
Random
favorite
fun
word in
fact.
Japanese that you would share with
I don't know
us?
if that's appropriate for this.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. What is, well, here, I'll say the winter is fuyu. So fuyu is winter, and we're going into winter in the holidays. So I feel like that's appropriate.
That's so cool. Where did you live in Japan?
Oh, I lived on a tiny little island. So we didn't get to choose where we lived. You apply for the program, you interview, you go through a whole process, and then they place you. So I was placed on a tiny island called Tsushima, which was just south of South Korea. It was actually closer to South Korea than it was to Japan. And I had to take a plane, a boat, and then a 2-hour car ride to get to where I lived in the very north of the island. And it was quite an experience, but it was really cool. I had no choice but to get
so
super
cool
fluent there because nobody spoke English. So
yeah, that's funny. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I didn't realize nobody knew that, but yeah, surprise.
I know.
It's my party trick.
We should have you write
That's a
about it.
really cool party trick. I had the exact same thing except with France. I taught English in France, and they placed me in a little, not an island, obviously, not like a cute little island, but in a little town. And yeah, so that's fun. Okay, Rachel, question for you.
Okay.
Who was your childhood famous crush?
Oh my goodness.
Or did you have one?
I had a thing for Legolas for a while.
Yes, that counts.
One of the rings. Does that work? I'm sure people are going to be making fun of me forever now.
No way.
Character. It had to be the elf with the arrows.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, see, no one's going to make fun of you. I'm sure there's people in the comments who are going to say, me too. If anybody else had a thing for Legolas right here, just say me too in the comments, because I'm sure there are other people here.
That is the first
also,
DVD I ever
somebody's
bought.
saying, this is a message to Robert. I don't know what this means, but
Yeah, he also
You
speaks
do?
Japanese. Hi, Ginger.
yeah.
Do
Do you know what that means? Can you tell?
Yeah,
what
she said, I also speak Japanese. That's what she said.
Oh,
Very cool.
awesome. Yay.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have
that's
a very
awesome.
cultured
Yoroshiku.
bunch here. Okay, guys. So motivation. We were just saying with Katie and Rebecca, they were saying that if you heard, rather than treating it like this is the end of the year and I need to push, just treat it as like every single day, right? Like consistency. But do any of you have specific motivation tips for writing? And I'm going to start with Mindy, because I know Mindy has to go.
Yes. Well, it's something I work harder on every year, which is just stopping. And I think at the end of the year, just because there are holidays and lots of celebrations, you have more reasons and obligations also to stop and celebrate. But it's also more in your face, so to speak, that you have all these blessings and friends and family and things to be grateful for. And I think that it's an interesting balance when you're a writer and you love what you do, that it can be sometimes hard to take breaks because you're enjoying yourself and you can keep working and keep working and keep working because you're loving every minute of it. And yet those breaks are essential to recharge your brain, to remotivate yourself, to get a different perspective. And so at the end of the year, I try to force myself to take more and more and more breaks. Just pause, stop, go to whatever event is happening, and then it's always a goal to continue that. And we'll see if that continues this year once January hits.
Just take breaks, let yourself off the hook, and
enjoy.
Give yourself the grace.
Eat and sing. Great.
I love that. That's great. Robert or Rachel, anything to add for motivational tips?
Yeah, actually, Mindy and I had a conversation earlier this month about how we were joking, like, wouldn't it be nice if we could just take time in December and just relax? And I really took that to heart. And I think that's one of the things I really appreciate about the writing career that I have, is that I can schedule my projects so that I can give myself time to spend more time meditating or spend more time setting goals for the new year. And I'm not stopping what I'm doing. I'm just kind of reorganizing and reprioritizing myself so that I can just re-energize myself. That's the thing that I was really looking forward to. So I'm excited. This is the first December I've ever done this, and I feel much more relaxed and centered going into the new year than I have in past years, where I was just like frantic, like, I gotta get it done. But I don't have that this year, so it's really nice.
Yeah, there's absolutely something magical about getting everything in a row, having it all spelled out in front of you. Like, at least for me, I'm like that too. I'm very much just kind of like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing?
Yeah, like constantly.
Yeah. So yeah, me too. That's my goal actually over Christmas, to get organized and like find systems. So if anybody in the comments has a really good system that you follow, please let us know what you use. Are you a bullet journaler? Do you have something that you do to get organized? Like, let us know. I would really love to know. Genuinely, I need to know. Give me your system. Robert, what about you? What do you use for motivation?
Well, first I saw Iron Dogger's comment, and I have, knowing Japanese and seeing people's tattoos that are in like the characters, there's always a little bit of a chuckle. So that is that could be my career if the writing thing doesn't pan out. I've been thinking a lot about this because I think everyone can agree that these last couple of years have been challenging in a few ways. You may say the world is a little different than it was before. And I think it's so important, as Melissa said, and even Katie and Rebecca were saying, it's like just having a little bit of grace with ourselves and recognizing that like we've dealt with a lot of change, and like that has a lot of effects on your mental health. It has a lot of effects on your physical health. And for me, the way I sort of been keeping motivated as best as I can, again with grace, is just to kind of just keep doing a little bit every day, like and recognizing when I'm tired and allowing myself to stop when I'm tired, just to know that like, okay, I have this much time to get this thing done. I'm going to work on it. If I'm starting to get totally distracted and I can't like deal with it anymore, I'm just going to put it to the side and I will tackle it tomorrow. Because again, like it's just another day, right? Like, just because one day doesn't go exactly as planned doesn't mean that the next day will not be fantastic, right? We have to remember that every day is a new opportunity to tackle your dreams and stuff. So again, like with what everyone's saying is taking breaks, self-care, having grace with yourself, and just keeping on. And even if you write for 5 minutes and you're like, oh God, that's all I can take, then wait, you wrote 5 minutes, didn't you? Right? That's 5 more minutes than a lot of people write, So it's just being okay with yourself and recognizing it's the holidays and there's a lot of distractions. There's a lot going on. So let's just, enjoy it and just know that every new day is a new opportunity.
That's really great to give yourself permission to write even for just 5 minutes. Like it doesn't have to be anything good. In fact, you could just say, I'm going to write something terrible for the next 5 minutes.
I love the morning pages from the Artist's Way. If anyone, I've talked about this a million times, but the morning pages from the Artist's Way are good. You don't have to do them in the morning because that's sometimes kind of some pressure. But like literally just writing for freehand for a couple of minutes, filling out 3 pages of a journal, like it gets all of the negative stuff out of your mind and all of like the junk, and then kind of frees you to kind of go about your day. You feel kind of uplifted, a little more creatively, like ready to go. It's wonderful. Yeah. I highly recommend it. It's kind of magic.
The Artist's Way. The
morning pages specifically.
Do you guys have any other books that you would recommend along those lines?
Ooh, well, I will add that I do something similar to what Robert just talked about. I do gratitude journaling in the morning, so that helps me kind of refocus. And it doesn't always have to be grateful for big things. I've written about being grateful for paper clips because they can really make your life easier. And then it sort of just centers, And then you can also fill a page with your goals. You can fill a page with your affirmations. I think anytime you put words on the page, especially if you're using a pen and not necessarily just typing, it does something magical to your mind. It just kind of recenters and refocuses you.
For sure. I've tried using a 5-minute journal, which I really enjoy in the morning, which is similar to a gratitude journal. But I think the thing that I enjoy the most to do every morning is just go for a walk every single morning, like half an hour, 45-minute walk with my dog. And it Oh, it's the best. Like I just come back feeling refreshed and energized, and I come in from my walk and I get my coffee and I come up to my office and I'm ready, and I'm ready to start work right away. And it's I love it. I've been doing it for about 2 years now, and I just love it.
They say that's a really good way to boost creativity too, because it increases your circulation. So like whenever you're stuck on something, I love to just walk around the block or like go get the mail or something. Just get out of your house and go walk if you can, or take a shower. Like that's the same reason, I guess, for showering, because it increases your circulation because of the heat. So it like gets your mind going and thinking about stuff.
Especially if you can do anything, if you're walking around anything green, like a park or any woods, it's forest bathing. But I have a hack for that. I have to show you, not all the time can I get out and go walking. So I have a little cypress essential oil. So you smell it. And it's like a forest in a bottle. I still recommend walking. That should still be the first priority. But if for whatever reason you can't get out of your house and you can't leave, maybe you have a baby sleeping or something, and you take a whiff of one of these and you're just transported right there to a forest.
That's wonderful.
It's energizing.
Idea. All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. It's so fun to have you on the YouTube channel. I hope to do so much more of this and to have you each on individually and talk about, just to dive into any one of these topics. If you guys watching right now love any of these topics in particular, let us know. Tell us what you want to hear about. Tell us who you want to hear from. And we're just going to create a whole bunch of content for you guys. So thank you so much, Mindy, Rachel, and Robert, for being on. And I'll see you guys hopefully in another video soon.
Yay.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. And next up, we have two. I'm having trouble counting. Two very special guests, two AWAI team members who have each talked to thousands, I'm guessing, of AWAI members. We have Shantique Adams and Jake Allen. Hi, Jake and Shantique.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
What
How
up,
you guys doing?
My grand YouTube debut. Hello, Bonnie. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Welcome to the show. So in case you guys don't know, Shantique is our member success manager. Is that right, Shantique?
Correct.
And Jake is our community moderator and host.
Nailed it. Hit the nail right on the head. Well done, Bonnie. You're a great host yourself.
She is.
Just a little bit of a stutter, but I got it.
You got it.
So Jake is like sort of a host extraordinaire. And hopefully we'll be hosting some of these soon as I can recruit him into the fold. And Shantique, I'm so glad to have you on, because I feel like you have like a huge wealth of knowledge about writers and everything that writers go through. You've probably heard it all.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. When you asked me, I was like, yes, of course I'll do it. Yes.
And Bonnie, you said talk to thousands. I just got to tell you, that's probably way under. Shantique, you want to talk about a wealth of knowledge? 1,000, we're talking into the hundreds of thousands at this point.
Oh.
And of course, she's undefeated.
No doubt. Yeah. So Shantique, how long have you been with AWAI?
I've been here for, I think 6 years. Yeah, 6 years this year, October the 1st. Yeah.
Yeah. And you do, you're the manager of the team, but you do still talk individually to people.
Of course. And it's important just to stay active. I definitely want to hear what's going on. I love to talk to the members and stay connected. So I'm definitely still on the front line and talking to them.
Yeah. So if you guys are watching and you have talked to Shantique before, say hi, because I'm sure there's people here watching who have actually talked to you but have never seen your face. So hello, here you are. Okay, so I'm going to ask each of you a question about yourselves, and then I'm going to ask you about just kind of some insight on what you've heard that writers, kind of issues that writers run into, and we could talk about sort of ways that they can overcome that. But first, let's start with you, Shantique. Are you a karaoke person, first of all?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
What is your go-to karaoke anthem?
Erykah Badu, Call Tyrone.
Ooh.
Every time I do karaoke, I have to go and do that song. It's easy.
So
It doesn't really require you to have a voice or anything. It's just, yeah, I love it. The
that's
crowd gets
awesome.
involved.
Yes, that's the best when the crowd can
Yes.
get involved. You know that somebody is a karaoke person when they like, boom, have their go-to karaoke song
Yes.
like in their mind already. You like know what page it's on. You're like, okay.
Yes.
Yes, it's awesome. And then Jake, let me see. What is a bucket list destination? Where would you like to go?
A bucket list destination. See, now this
Yeah.
right here, Bonnie, this is why I usually ask to get the questions in advance. But I understand we got to keep things shooting from the hip here. Totally
can choose
understand.
something else.
I would say that a bucket list destination for me would be Paris, France. And hear me out because that seems a little cliche. I actually have two friends. One of my better friends in the world right now actually lives in Paris. He was born in France. So
Nice.
thanks to
So
the
cool.
glorious World Wide Web, I've had the opportunity to get to know somebody like that and never been within 3,000 miles of him. So I'd love to tour such a beautiful city with all their culture and whatnot with one of my right-hand guys.
Definitely.
That's awesome. People say that Paris is a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. I mean, it's a really amazing place to go. So I would say that is legit.
Well, let's hope I
man.
get to
That's
check it off my list. And I have to steal Shantique's question just real quick. Take
Yes.
on me. If you're going to go karaoke, you go bold, you hit the high notes, and you really put your voice out there. But I do love your answer, Shantique. If you want to play it safe, you got Eric.
Jake, we're gonna go together. We're gonna go karaoke together. Let me know when you're
That's
ready.
my bucket. That's my new answer for my question. Bucket list destination, karaoke with Shantique.
Definitely.
Perfect.
Definitely.
I was going to say, Jake, you sound pretty confident about that. Do you want to like sing a couple of bars for
Yeah,
us?
I'm waiting to hear that.
No.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I won't make you. All right, guys. So you guys have and currently do talk to tons of members, like, people who are writers, people who want to be writers, all the folks watching today. Like you have been inside the minds of these folks on a number of occasions. So from any of you, both of you, do you think the number one thing that you hear from people that just holds them back? Like when they're on the edge of beginning, what is it that people are like, I just can't get there?
If you don't mind, Jake, I'll go first.
Yeah, go for it.
I think fear of rejection. So, I mean, most of the calls we get, we have members who actually stepped outside, they stepped out on a ladder, they got the skills, they took one of our programs, they have them, they know how to write, they've done the assignment, so they have something for their portfolio, things like that. And also, all of our programs, kind of any program that we have that's a skill building program, it also includes something that kind of teaches you how to promote yourself to clients, how to build your business. Well, in my experience, when we have a lot of members calling because they're afraid to put themselves out there. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid that someone's going to say no. And I always have to just let them know, hey, it's okay. First of all, you have the skills. You have to have confidence in yourself. Believe in yourself. Step outside of the box. Go and use some of those skills that you've learned from our different programs. One of the great programs, Gaining Clients Method. Go take some of those skills and actually apply them. And if you hear no, it's okay. You're probably going to hear no a couple of times, but there's going to be a yes along the way. So it's okay. My advice to my members when I speak to them is, if you may hear no, you may try a certain method and it doesn't work the first time, don't give up. Try it again. Try it a couple of times. Don't just take that and go, okay, I can't do it anymore. Because of course we create stories, in our head. Hey, they're not going to want to hire me. They want people with experience. No, get those stories out of your head. You can do it.
It's absolutely a microcosm of imposter syndrome. That's what we all go through every single day. It's something that Rebecca talked about too, that I very much agree with, is you would never talk to a friend or a loved one the same way you talk to yourself. And Shantique knows, as I was in member services under her wing for such a long time before I moved to my current position, I am very much guilty of that. I can relate so much to all of the people that I've spoken to who have these fears of rejection. But I'll just say, like you said, Shantique, don't let a fear of rejection get in your way of actually asking that question, because you really don't know what the answer is going to be. And the worst thing that could happen is it says no. And I'm going to steal something that Elise Bennett always says, which is, who cares? Who cares if
Right.
they say no? Your business is a laboratory. Mistakes will happen. And the best thing that you can do in the face of rejection or any mistake really is learn from it and continue to build your business in a positive way.
Right. And think about it. If for that one yes, I mean, 'cause I've had members, they hear no, and then they finally get that yes and they call, and we love to celebrate your success. So we're like, yes, please call us and let us know that you've gotten clients. So they hear that yes, and it's like a major confidence builder, of course. And then it kind of like they have this big piece of, this piece of writing for their portfolio that they can show to other clients, and they're ready and they're jazzed to do it. So just don't give up. You can do it. Like, we've had many people who've come to us and started out just not learning, not knowing how to write and things of that nature. And I mean, you should see how they're doing now. So you can do it. That's why I just
That's
want to
so
let you
true.
guys know you can do it. I mean, just step out.
Have you had like a member that you've talked to through the years or like over a year who like you heard that from them a lot and then they finally were like, okay, I get it, I'm gonna do it, and then you get to hear that like end result? Like
Yes.
how
So
that's got to
many.
be the best.
Yes, we've had many. We had a member call one of our member success reps, Zeta, and they were right outside in the car getting ready to go into an actual, it was an interview like with a client, and they just needed us to, build them up. Hey, I'm scared. I don't want to do this. I don't know if they're going to reject me. And I mean, this is someone that we had talked to for quite some time. So she spoke to them. She built their confidence up. They went in, they got the job. They let us know, hey, I got it. And like I said, we love to celebrate your wins. So we were all jazzed and member success. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's not
That's
just member
awesome.
success. I'll tell you,
Oh, the whole company.
back in my member service days, I spoke to members that were like over the course of years and years continued to take more programs or continued to struggle or continued to doubt themselves. And then when you finally break through that barrier, and there's one that comes to mind now that we recently just celebrated in our company-wide team meeting because all of us
Yeah.
knew who she was, and we were so proud of that. And you guys are bringing tears to the executive team's eyes. We have an internal
Yes.
newsletter
Literally.
where we celebrate. That doesn't go to anybody else. That is just to continue to motivate us. So, I mean, selfishly, your success is our success,
It's our
but it's our
motivation.
success
Yes.
emotionally. We love it. Every single success story we hear, that's why we encourage you to share, because it makes our jobs that much better and that much more fulfilling each and every day.
Agreed.
Yes. And I'm so glad that you said that, Jake, that like, and Shantique too, you both said that like sometimes people, they just like have been going along for a long time and they keep learning more and keep learning more. And that happens a lot, you guys. If you're stuck in that cycle, you feel like you're stuck in that cycle where you're just like, I just need to learn a little more. I just need to learn a little more. Like, it's so good to hear that like, even if you feel like you're stuck in that cycle, you could break out of it. People do actually decide like, okay, now I'm going to move forward, and they move
Yeah.
forward. It happens.
It's just taking that
It happens
action.
a lot.
It's really taking that action. And one thing real quick, I know we're running up against the time, that is very helpful for this is community. Especially new writers will have a little hesitancy at first because they think about competitive or like a cutthroat type of situation, but you'll find out very quickly. And if you listen to any of our experts, Mindy McHorse is big on this, you'll realize that once you get into that success mindset, you're not going to have the bandwidth to worry about undercutting other writers because you'll be too busy handing off jobs that you don't have time for to those other writers.
Yeah.
And in
Definitely.
freelance, whether you're a writer, graphic designer, voice actor, whatever, it's so easy to become isolated and feel like you don't have that sense of community. So go out there and find it, get an accountability group, get that support system. It's instrumental in your success, honestly.
Agreed. And also, you have the member success team. We're always available Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. to definitely to help you, to answer any questions, to just build your confidence, to let you know that you can do it. If you have any questions, we'll definitely get the answers for you. And if we don't have the answers, we have so many people in the company that we can rely on to just get the answer and get right back to you. So know that you always have us as a resource as well.
Yes. And you guys are the absolute best.
Thank
I
you.
just have to say, like, you work so hard and you give as much of yourselves as you possibly can. And I just want to say, like, thank you so much, because it's not easy to be in your shoes, and you are the best member
you.
success team that I have ever seen anywhere. I know I'm like tooting our own horn here, but like Shantique runs a really amazing team. And you guys
They are pretty awesome.
Yeah, and somebody, EG, is saying, 1,000,000% agree with that. It's so true. It's so true. And, you know, if you guys need help, we're here for you. Shantique is there for you. I'm here for you whenever I can be. And you know that Jake, you'll see him supporting you in all kinds of different programs and places.
Yes.
So before you guys go, I want to tell everybody here that, like, if you just subscribe to the channel, or if you are a subscriber at all, I am going to do a drawing when this is over and give somebody access to the AWAI method, which is our flagship program. This is, it's like everything you need to launch a copywriting career. Basically, it gives you all of the persuasive writing techniques and tips that you need. It also leads you through 5 different assignments and gives you feedback on them. So you can actually write assignments and get an editor to give you feedback on them. And then it also gives you access to over 3,000 open copywriting jobs on our new writerswanted.com. So
yes.
Yeah, so make sure that you guys subscribe. You guys know all about it here. I'm sure you've heard lots of questions. Do you guys get any, before you go, what would you say is like the main question about the AWAI method program that you, or one thing about it that people should know?
Oh,
they should know that.
Yeah, just real quick, Shantique, the number one thing that I think is very valuable that people don't really think about is those assignments that you're getting peer reviews on, not peer reviews, professional copy reviews on. Those can be easily used as samples. You're not only doing those 5 smaller subjects, but there's also a large full campaign that you're doing at the very, very end. And that is a big thing that people need as they're new writers. They're like, well, I don't have any writing samples. How am I going to get a job? Boom. At the end of the AWAI method, not only are you getting the training, but you're also getting work samples, and you're using the business building training that's at the very end of the AWAI method to, like you said, Bonnie, completely encapsulate everything you need to start that copywriting business. So those work samples are very good.
Yes. And Shantique?
I think it's important for them to know that the program is a self-paced program. So we get that question a lot. How long does it take to complete the program? Things like that. It is a self-paced program. So you take your time and complete it. There is no timeline for you to complete it or anything like that. You can set the time on your own. Set aside a couple of hours a night and take your time there's no race. So I just want them to know that it is a self-paced program. And like Jake says, just going back to what we said about getting clients, the program does teach you how to promote yourself to clients. So that's a great resource as well.
Yeah, actually, you're right. You get into Elise Bennon's 21-day challenge with this when you sign up. So that's a whole new thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So anybody who's watching, and just subscribe and you will get that. If you already own it, we will give you something of equal value when I do this drawing. So you will get something else. Don't worry if you already own the AWAI method. And in case you wanted to just read about it, I set up a link here, awai.com/bonfire. And if you go there, you can read all about it. We have a special going where you can try it out for $49, which is a pretty good deal. So go check it out there if you want to see it. And somebody here watching right now is going to win access. So I can't wait to see who that's going to be. We'll reach out to you. Okay, Jake, Shantique, thank you so much for being on. I want to bring you on more. You guys are awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be on the next time, Bonnie. Just let me know.
Yes.
Okay, you know I will. Actually, both of you now. Haha. All right, thanks,
guys. We're partners. We're karaoke partners. You have to have us.
Right.
That's what we're going to do from now on. All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody, we have something extra special for you. Besides somebody winning our flagship program, we have something extra special coming up now. You are about to hear from one of the biggest names in copywriting in the world. She is, if I say the word she, I wonder if you're going to be able to guess who it is. Go ahead and guess in the comments if you can think of who I'm about to have on. All right, she is like one of the best people to have on a bonfire because she's also kind of the life of the party and just an amazing, fun person to talk to through and through. So please give me a warm welcome for Carlene Cole. Hi, Carlene.
Hello.
Welcome to the
It's too warm
bonfire.
here for a bonfire, so I'm just gonna have a party.
I love this. So people were Melissa, Beyonce, were guessing who it was in the
Oh man,
comments.
Beyonce's here. I gotta go.
It's Carlene. Yes, people were guessing it's you. Yay! All right. So we are so glad that you're here with us. Thank you so much for coming on today. Yeah, the copywriting Beyonce.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. Thank you very much. I will take it.
Carlene, how are you?
I am doing great. I'm so excited. Your timing for your bonfire is just perfect. So I'm just loving it. I've been enjoying the show. So thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. And you have a YouTube channel too. You've been.
Yep. I started March of this year. When I did the Clayton Makepeace tribute, I had this amazing a volume of copywriting genius from 18 speakers who spoke there. And I had to find a place to put all that to allow aspiring copywriters to have access to it for free. And that was my entry. My assistant, Cynthia, forced me to get on YouTube. I'm like, no, I'm scared. There's scary people out there. I don't want to do it, you know? And so she got me on YouTube in March, end of March. And so since then, I have been loving it. You know, I've got it. So I decided, you know, if I'm putting Clayton stuff up there, I got to keep it up, keep the level up here. So I've been doing some fun videos, really cool things, educational, all focusing on the copywriter and the copywriter life. From my perspective, I mean, AWAI whole, you know, you guys have your own, it's awesome. But you've got my little puny part is just Carlene's copywriting life, you know, but it's pretty
They're
cool.
so fun though.
It's fun. It's fun. I got lots of training videos on there. I've got, you know, adventures of things I've done, you know, what copywriting has allowed me to do. And it's, you know, copywriting, as we talk about, it's not just about the work. It's about the life that you can create.
Yes.
You know, wherever you want to live and whatever you want to do, and you can control your time. So I just try to show that on my YouTube channel, that Carlene Cole YouTube channel, that, hey, you know, you can learn here and you can have fun here at the same time and get a feel for what it's like.
That's great. Yeah, this is fun, and doing this on YouTube is super fun too. So it's just a really great way to learn from people that you really like Carlene and hopefully us. So Carlene, you have a new book out, which we're going to talk about in just a second. And I believe you also have some prizes to give away. But you do. But before we get there, I need to ask you a fun icebreaker question. Are you ready?
Okay. So what is I feel like you're a pretty healthy person, but what is your favorite guilty snack? Oh, you know, if you had caught me 10 minutes earlier, you would have found me eating it. Right now, I'm hooked on the Kind bars, the frozen Kind bars. And it's the sea salt almond Kind bars with almond milk. It's almond milk vanilla ice cream, I guess what it is. Oh my goodness! My cousin turned me onto it, and I wish she had never done it because I am. But it's a Kind bar, so I mean, it's like
that's not that guilty.
Calories, but it is so good. You would think you're eating like really, really bad stuff, you know. But it's really good, and I'm like hooked on it right now. As of the past few months, it's been the Kind bars. That's my addiction. So we'll see how long that lasts, but I'm loving it.
I'm definitely going to be looking for those. EG says
novelty section in the freezer. Publix does not carry it. Kroger's does. CVS does. I have to figure out the places I can go and get my fix. So that's where I go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's better than, you know, Cheetos or something. That's it's not bad for a guilty snack.
So good. I mean, chocolate and almonds and swirls of caramel and then ice cream. All that is all woven all together. Oh, I need another one.
Yeah, I just mentally put that on my own list as well. So I'm going to be looking for those. Somebody's asking, what's your channel? So if you just search for Carlene Cole on YouTube,
Carlene Cole.
Will they find you?
Yep. Okay. Carlene Cole, and you'll find me. Trust me, you'll see my face all over there.
Well, thankfully. Okay, and then next, so Carlene's about to give you guys 3 tips on your success, basically, to your best life as a copywriter and beyond. And I'm going to ask you to share 3 different things. But before we get there, the reason why we're doing this is because you have a brand new book that you just wrote. So can you tell us what that's called and all about that?
Yes. Well, this week it is debuting. It's available for pre-order on Amazon right now. The book is called Your Copy Sucks, You Don't. 60 Kick Butt Lessons on Copywriting, Business, and Life. And the book is kind of, my first book that came out last year, almost 16 months apart. It's like my kids, they're 16 months apart. The first book was my life as a 50-plus-year-old white male, how a mixed race woman, how I broke into I can't forget the name.
Wait, say it again. Just so in case people want to look for it.
Copywriting and succeeded. I got it. That's it. So that was my first book, which was more of my autobiography. And so this book was sort of my 60 lessons learned. I turned 60 this year, and I thought, you know what, this is an amazing way to kind of say, own it in so many ways. And so I did, and I decided I'm going to give you some of the best lessons I've learned. So they are copywriting lessons. They're lessons about starting, businesses, and also lessons I learned as far as raising my family, being married, having friends, about life in general. So it became a real fun book to put together, and I just love it. So it is now available. So it is a fast read, because as a mom, I know you need that bathroom read. Like, what can I read in one chapter in the bathroom kind of thing, right? So you can
I need the info now.
Absolutely. Yes. Quick info, easy to read, and just a lot of fun. But really, it is my life. It's sort of kind of lessons that I have based my life on, whether my career or my personal life. And I think it's made me very successful, and I'm willing to share it with you to be able to make it your life. Take whatever you want from it and benefit yourself however you need to. So very excited about it. It is pre-ordering up today until Sunday, and then I'm offering a special gift for pre-orders only. But you have to use the password. Okay, the keyword is that. So the free gift I'm giving is a $39.99 value book, which is that's more than the price of the book. The Kindle book is $10, right? $9.99. But you get this special report. It's called How to Write a Sales Letter My Crazy Way in 7 Easy Steps. Okay, so I am actually giving you a cheat sheet template of how I do it. Not only do I show you the template, but I actually give you copy to drop in it so that you can write your letter. So it is really cool. This is what I do when I write my copy. For 22 years, I've been doing it. So I kind of have this template as a gift, because I want the pre-orders to go up really high so Amazon can be really impressed when we launch on Monday. So I'm just giving you the best I got right there. So if you could pre-order the book, that would be great. And if you do pre-order it, just take a screenshot of your order, and then just send me an email to copystarcarlene@gmail.com, and in the subject line say, Bonnie sent me. All right.
copystarcarlene@gmail.com. Bonnie sent me. That's if you. So okay. Wait, hold on. Back up just a sec. So everybody, we're going to give you 3 tips that are basically from Carlene's book in just a second here. But before we get there, if you're interested in checking out Carlene's book, the best way to do that is to go to Amazon, Carlene?
It's on Amazon for pre-order, until Sunday. And then on Monday, it will be available. And then I'll have it on my website at carlenecole.com. So you can go to my website to get it. You can go on Amazon to get it. But right now, I want you to go to Amazon and pre-order it. So we can
and it's Your Copy Sucks, You Don't.
60
right? So look for that.
Lessons on copywriting, business, and life.
Okay, so I have to stop you there for a second, because you said that you wrote this for your 60th birthday, and I had the same reaction that Allison has. 60, what the what? And Ginger, wow, you got it, whatever it is, you've got it. And I totally agree, because how are you possibly 60? First of all,
I don't know.
Young, but you look maybe at least 10 years younger than 60.
Well, thank you, but maybe my math is wrong. I was born in 1961, so I don't know how to fight that one, but it is true.
Do you get to sample some of the products that you write about, or is that
I do. I take everything I write about, so I don't know which one's working, but maybe something's working. And I am in the alternative health field, so I do take supplements and I do all that stuff, and I do try to lead a healthy life, except I do eat junk food too. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I thank you. 60 is a new 40. I feel like I'm 35 years old, so I don't feel like I'm 60 by any means. But you know what? I own it, man. I take every single day,
Why
every
not?
single year. I love it. So thank you.
I love that. Yes. So some folks are saying, yeah, another guaranteed bestseller about your book. I'm going to go get it now. Love that. All right. So Carlene, I read your book. I loved it. I really have 3 things that I picked out that I would love if you could share with folks today.
Okay.
The first one is your lesson 29 from the book, which is basically just, you gotta write. Like, you want to be a writer, then you've got to write. Can you just sort of expand on that a little bit? I mean, I know it sounds simple, but it's not always easy to write when you feel stuck.
Absolutely.
So what do you do?
It sounds so basic. It's like, if you want to be a writer, well, dang it, you got to write. You know, that is like, that is your writing becomes it's a muscle that you got to use it. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So you have to try to write every day. You don't have to write the great American novel. If you're not working on a project, you can write a complaint letter and ask for a ridiculous, resolution. Write a grateful letter, a compliment, a testimonial. Hey, when you read my book, put a testimonial on Amazon about my book. Give me a glowing testimonial. Let's see your writing skills there. Write a letter to a friend. I mean, just write. Get into the habit of writing every day. It is a combination of hand and brain connection. The more you do it, the more you're going to be better at it. So you can't say you want to be a writer if you don't write. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
so do you like journal, or do you actually like sit down and write work things every day, or do you actually just write like other stuff too? Do you have a journal?
I write every day, and it's different types of writing. If I'm working on a project, of course I'm writing because I'm working, but even still, I would keep theme journals sometime. I have my happiness journal. Just something, I would write a note to people. I just have to make sure I write every day. I wrote 2 books, during a pandemic. It's like, my books are 16 months apart. If I had gone with a traditional publisher, my first book would just be coming out now, but instead I went self-published route, and now I got 2 books out. At the time, it would have taken me to get 1 out. But the writing process is it just has to feel like water and air to you. It's almost like, if I don't write today, something's off. So whether it's typing, whether it's handwriting, whether it's, whatever it is, but just do that brain hand coordination every day to kind of trigger yourself to say, I'm a writer. That's what I do. That's how I roll. That's what I do. So write every day. So I am. Talk about that more. That's who I am. So I talk about that more in lesson 29, give you some ideas of how you can carve out some writing time if you got a crazy busy schedule. All that's in the book explaining it. But the bottom line is, if you're going to be a writer, well, dang it, you got to write.
And Carmen has a question for you, but I'm going to get to that in just a sec, Carmen. I'm going to ask your next lesson that I want to bring up, Carlene, is lesson 43. I love this. Use your past to launch your future. Don't be ashamed of your past. Use it.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Many people will just, people have bad things happen. Not everybody is born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Some people come with terrible history. You can't choose your parents. You can't choose your past, and the thing is, what's in your control. Like I said, your childhood is out of your control, but your adulthood is in your control. So you have to be able to find a way to reconcile the past with the present so you can move on. If not, you're going to be stuck. And so I've seen it. I know people who are in their 60s, and they talk about their childhood like it happened yesterday, and they're still dwelling on what their parents did or did not do, And I know people who had even worse experience. You would never know that they had that kind of experience, because they've decided to say, I own what happened. I don't accept it, but I own that it happened. And now I have the choice to go forward the way I want to move it. So that was a really powerful a chapter for me, because it made me think a lot, because I'm not trying to be judgmental and tell people, get over it. That's not the case at all. If you need to get therapy to help you, then get the therapy that you need. But you have to come to a point where you're going to have to own it and say, I choose to continue to go this direction. And no longer am I going to be tied to what happened to me in the past. It is a liberating moment in your life. It is so, but it has to happen. It has to happen at some point so that you can go on and take control of what is in your power, as opposed to allowing your past to own you. And that's the whole point about it. It's like, acknowledge it. Hey, I was dirt poor. Don't be ashamed of it. But look where I am now. I say, look at what has happened. Let's say you had maybe your parents were negligent, but maybe that negligence forced you to be independent much sooner. And maybe that independence allowed you to create a desire to be an entrepreneur much sooner than you would have been, because you can say, oh, I don't want this anymore. I want something else. So you can try to find a way to look at what happened to you and just say, there's something positive that came out of this. I got to find out what it is. If it just made me a stronger person, if it just showed that I cannot be broken, then that's your lesson. Just own it and then move on with it. And you have to try to let go of the baggage, because it's too heavy to carry on with you in the future.
I love that. And I have to say, like, it doesn't even have to be, it could be something really big or something really horrible that happened, but it could also be, like, for me, I had a great childhood, but I still struggle with a lot of self-doubts and a lot of self-esteem issues and, all that stuff that a lot of creatives struggle with, that same stuff. And I think that, like, it doesn't have to even be something really big. Sometimes we attach ourselves to small things, like just some evidence in the past that we're not good, or some evidence that we can't do this. And you can really detach yourself from that and say, like, oh no, actually, like, I got past that. Here I am now. And I can use that to push myself forward too.
Absolutely. It's whatever is causing you to be chained down. And it's different for everybody. So look, I just tell everybody, at the beginning of the book, I said, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a sociologist. I'm not any kind of ologist. I just got experience that I can share from you. So don't, I'm not, like I said, it's not, no judgment calls being made here. It's just my imperfect experience that I'm going to share. And you can use it for whatever you need to help you grow. So again, if it's a situation with something serious, I'm not trying to minimize anyone who may have had a difficult time, childhood, but I'm just saying is, you have the power to own what happens and move forward, but you have to choose that. If you need to get help from therapy, from spiritual ways, to get whatever you need to help you, but you will have to be the one ultimately to do it. If not, no one can do it for you. And so I hate for you to be stuck in a past when you have a present and a future that could be awesome.
Love that. And then I want to bring up what I think is probably my favorite tip of yours from the book, which is the titular tip. Lesson number 34, your copy sucks, you don't. Can you talk about that? How did you get to that? Where did that come from?
Well, it really started when I have my Crazy Copy System live mentoring show. It's a mentoring program that I have every week that I put together. So, and part of the show is I would give copy critiques. My tribe members can submit copy, and I say, give me your copy. You're giving me permission to go through your copy, and I'm just going through it. I'm tearing it up is what I'm doing. And so I got to the point, I'm like, oh, I'm so mean, So I started implementing this mantra before we start the show, before we start the critiques, that says, repeat after me. You're amazing. You're awesome. Your copy sucks. You don't. That was just to take out the emotions, because as writers, we love our words. Our words are our babies, like, what? How dare you? How dare you? So it's like, no. My job, and I say in the book, my job when I'm critiquing copy is to look for every flaw, look for every hole that I can to help you find it, to have you fix it so your copy can be strong. At this stage, I ain't your mama and I ain't your friend, okay? I'm your copy chief, and I'm trying to help you get stronger copy. So my Chris can come out like, what the heck are you doing here? This doesn't make sense. Are you kidding me? So I'm writing and I'm saying those kind of things because I'm just zoned in on the copy to say, take that crap out and put this in here. It's going to be stronger. But realizing it could be hurting people's feelings. So I always say it's not personal, and so therefore that's what it is. So I realized that mantra for copywriting is really a metaphor for life. because terrible things can happen. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. Your kid can screw up. Doesn't mean you're a bad mother. You could have a terrible idea that lost a lot of money. Doesn't mean you're stupid. So it's that whole concept is your copy sucks. You don't. Don't take it personal to the point where you feel like, it's not. It's just look at it for what it is. And so after that, I realized, well, that's kind of like my life mantra too. It's like, go with the flow, go take the punches, and then just keep moving. Don't let yourself just get punched out and, knocked down. Get back up again. So I just thought, you know what? That needs to be the title for this book, because it kind of addresses both the copywriting as well as the life part of the book. And it just really is what I say all the time, to my students. And so they get it and they love it. So, and then I had a contest about the name, and I had everyone vote, and it was like the votes were ridiculous that they said, that's you, Carlene. That is you. So that's the one.
It's such a great title.
That's going to be it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. And such a great lesson. I mean, I think it applies to any creative work, because you feel like, as a writer, or, I used to do photography, so it applies to that too. You feel like the thing that you're creating is you in a way, right? So when people critique it, you feel like they're critiquing you, but they're not. And the other thing to remember is that even the very, very best, Carlene, I'm sure sometimes you have days where what you write is not what you want it to be,
that would be yes.
Like all the time.
Today and yesterday.
Everybody.
Yeah. And I love what Clayton used to always say, because I used to look at Clayton Makepeace, he was my mentor, late Clayton Makepeace, awesome, copywriter. And I would go, how do you write it so good like that? And he would say, don't confuse my 16th draft with your first.
Yes.
And so that whole process is ongoing. Yeah. I look back at some of the things I wrote 10 years ago or 20 years ago, and I cringe going, that was such bad copy. I'm so much better now. But it wasn't bad copy because it was a control back then. And yes, I am better now,
Yeah.
And, so
you were making a great living on it then. Right?
It worked then. The client was happy then, but I've learned so much more going, I would never have done that back then. But now I know as I'm going forward, I continue to improve. And it's the same thing. So I have lots of copy that sucked. Lots of copy that sucked. But I do not.
You have to, like, if you want to be a writer and you're going to have to write, you have to write bad copy sometimes. Like, there's no getting around it.
Well, if you're going to be a direct response copywriter, you have to realize that a 1% response is a good number. That means 99% of the people did not order, did not want your copy, but yet 1% did, and you're successful. What a great business to be in, where 1% is a winner.
It's a really good way to put it.
In school, if I got a 60% of my grades, I was grounded, right? I couldn't go to my mom. But I'm like, hey, I got a 1%. I'm a star, Yep.
Okay. That's amazing. I hope that you guys are all holding on to that. So we're going to give away a copy of your book, right? And also everything that you told us that comes with it. And in order to do that, you guys, what I would like you to do is just write one sentence in the comments why you want to be a copywriter. Just one sentence, why you want to be a copywriter. Make it unique if you can. Copyright it as best you can. And while you guys are doing that, Carlene, I'm going to ask you one last question, just as people are writing their sentences in the comments, about motivation. Just, we're at the end of the year. We've been talking about this throughout this episode, staying motivated. And, kind of what people have been saying a lot is don't treat it as like end of the year motivation, treat it as like an everyday thing. But how do you approach motivation and pushing yourself forward?
Is it the end of the year already?
I know. What?
You know what? Like I said, it's not linear, circular to me. Is that, you just put the next project up. The next project's going to be in January. And so that's my next project I'm working on. I'm not thinking, it's the end of this year, beginning of this, whatever. Although there is something good to be said about looking at the closure of a year and say, hey, how did it go? How did this year go for me? What were some good, what were the highlights? What were the lowlights? Acknowledge it, accept it, and say, all right, what do I want to do for next year. Now I don't do resolutions because no one sticks with those things. I have goals. I have goals because I say, a plan with a goal without a plan and nothing but a dream, so I really do set a goal and then I have a plan to achieve it. So to stay motivated is just to be excited about what you're doing. Forget about December or January. It's what's the next project? What can I do? How can I improve my skills? What course can I take to get better at my writing skills? Whatever it is, put that as a goal and then just go ahead and try to reach it. If it goes into January, then wonderful. Wonderful, because to me, these years are blurring like you wouldn't believe. I'm still saying 1999. Yeah. That's where I'm stuck. I'm still stuck in 1999. So my point is, to stay motivated, you need to stay in tune with what you're doing. You need to still enjoy what you're doing. You need to see the value. Realize I write for the alternative health field because I get a great amount of satisfaction knowing that I can introduce people to natural remedies that they didn't know about that can help them make a different decision from maybe having to go on a dangerous drug. That is very fulfilling to me because it's like, have you heard about phosphatidylserine? If your brain cells, you feel like you're starting to lose it a little bit, you're forgetting about things. There's this thing called PS. It can help you boost your brain, and in fact, there's a study that shows that you can regain 7 years of your brain health by taking PS. Did you know that, Bonnie?
I'm taking some notes right now.
Exactly. So it's that kind of thing where it's like, wow, you know what? It's the studies show it works. So I love that because I'm helping people and I'm learning myself. So I'm helping myself with the information too. So with that, it helps me to stay motivated because I know that I can write copy that will help people change their lives, make better decisions, and be happier because of those decisions. So I love that. And that's one thing. Own what you're doing. If you don't like what you're writing about, then don't do it. Don't do it. It's not what you should be doing. Don't be a freelancer and hate your freelance job. If that's the case, don't work 9 to 5. Go to a corporate job, right? Do not be a freelancer and hate your job. That can't not acceptable. All right. So that's what I do. I just constantly set different types of goals. My book was a goal to accomplish. That was great. The YouTube channel was a goal. I'm like, we got this thing up and going in not even a year, and it's rocking and rolling. Love that. AWAI speaking virtually was a goal. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. And yet I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And let's do it.
Hey, we made it fun too, didn't we?
We made it fun. I danced my way up into the stage, right? So that was, I'm just saying, just set either small goals or large goals, but just set something that you can see that you are making progress. And when you see progress, you feel encouraged and you feel motivated to continue and do more. Don't be down on yourself. Okay. It's not. If it didn't work out, then okay, fine. Let's move on. Something else. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of comments over here, and we're also getting some great sentences that people are saying why they want to be a copywriter. So let me go through a couple of them here.
Wait, we have to tell them the gift is the gift that they're getting will be a signed copy of my book.
Yes.
Right. I'm going to sign it. So you get to tell me what you want me to say. And as long as I'm okay with it, I will say it, or, whatever. But the book, don't forget, the book has not been released yet. So you got to give me time.
That's okay.
to get it up and going. But yeah, we'll draw the name and you will get a signed copy of my new book. Your copy sucks. You don't.
Awesome. Okay. So here we go.
Okay.
For the signed copy of Carlene's new book, when it comes out, simply, I want to change my lifestyle. I want to write because COS is leading me to freedom. My brain is exploding with so many words that want to come out. I love this. To give an outlet for this whirlwind of creativity that lives within me. Writing is my calling, and I deserve to get paid well for doing what I love. I want to help people communicate and grow their business with clear and persuasive copy because I can't control the verbal vomit. Okay, good. I want to be able to dream again. I have the need for speed. Freedom to move around the world while maintaining a business along the way is at the top of my retirement bucket list. I want to get out of my current Squid Game. I want to write and rewrite to make it better.
Oh, wow.
Using my copywriting skills to make this world a better place, just a bit. I want to be a copywriter because I feel a need to write, and I really feel a need to get paid. I want to reach people where they are and then some. These are great, guys. I want to be a copywriter because it's been my calling it's been calling me from every shrub and corner for 3 decades.
Wow.
There's
I
so
have
many.
to be a copywriter to fulfill the whispers. She said.
Yes. From the shrubs.
Oh.
I want to use words to change the world, to help people achieve their goals and do something I enjoy. But she already pre-ordered the book. Good job, Holly.
That's okay. That is the Kindle version. You'll be getting the hard copy.
Yeah, that's perfect. 26 men, I could defeat any army, but with those 26 letters, I can accomplish anything. I am a copywriter. Ooh, I like that. So I can have the freedom to take my parents to doctor's appointments and help them when they need it. It's all about freedom. I'm not a Clayton, Carlene, or EG, but I am on my way. I've started. That's awesome, Carmen. And we're getting to the end here. My reason keeps the brain active. I'm always in a learning mode. I want to own my life and the writer's dream with my family. I want to live and not die in my current job. There's more. There's more. Oh, I think we heard from you already, Diane, didn't we? I want to be a copywriter because writing is the only thing I do where I don't feel that I have to be doing something else.
Oh.
And I want to be a copywriter to get the inspirational ideas from my head into the hearts of others. All right. Whew. Do you remember all those?
Wow. 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 This was a great idea when we talked about it, but this is really hard.
There's too many to choose from.
I think I liked, I couldn't write it all down, but I think it was Chris who talked about the 26 letters. What was that quote again?
I'm looking for it here.
26 people, I can do something with 26 letters.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to be a copywriter because with 26 men, I could defeat any army. With those 26 letters, can accomplish anything.
I like that one.
All right.
I like that one.
Chris.
I think that's pretty cool because again, what she's saying, Chris girl, Chris boy, which one?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is Chris a girl or Chris a boy? Well, Chris Culpepper, I think what I like about that, just the fact of knowing the power of words. And I think one of the lessons in my book, I talk about, how words are powerful. And I said, if you believe in the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, then you are not a writer, at least not a good one. Because words are extremely powerful. Words can motivate, words can deflate, words can set off, armies. Words can make you fall in love. So those 26 letters that make up those words are extremely powerful. And as a writer, I say, if you do believe in that sticks and stones may break my bones, you're not a good writer. You're not, because you don't understand the power of words like you should. And because you are a writer, you have a higher responsibility to be able to use those words in the right way, to be able to inspire and motivate people, not to take people down. And so I think by just saying that with those 26 letters, that resonated with me because of that chapter in the book. That was very, very special to me. So I will say, Chris Culpepper, you are the winner.
Chris is a guy, by the way.
Chris is a guy.
So first of all, that was really powerful, Carlene. Thank you for sharing that. I so agree with that about the power of words. Chris is a guy, and everybody is saying, "Yeah, Chris, congrats, Chris, yay, Chris, go, Chris." So that's awesome.
There were a lot of good ones. Diane and Cheryl. I kind of had started writing down other ones, but I think he got me with the 26 letters. That I got.
So Melissa will reach out to you, Chris, or Chris in the comments here. Melissa will just hit you up to get your information, and we'll get that into Carlene, and you'll get a signed copy of her book.
Yep.
So Carlene, thank you so much for being on our first kind of YouTube show of its kind here.
I
on
love
the
it.
AWAI channel.
My first YouTube live stream, I forgot to hit the button that says we're live.
Oh no.
So for 3 minutes, 3 whole minutes, it was a black screen. So you guys are way ahead of me, man. Way ahead.
Well, I gotta say, it's so great to have you.
We left it just like it is with a note saying, "Hey guys, just forward 3 minutes ahead because I forgot to hit the go live button."
But hey, that's how you get started with stuff, right? Like, this wasn't perfect. I'm not doing this perfectly, but it's fun and entertaining, and it's a great way to give information to people and to gather community together. And just, I'm so thankful for you, Carlene, for being here, and for everybody who joined us for this bonfire. We hope to do a whole lot more stuff like this and just improve it as it goes. Just let us know in the comments anything you want to hear more about. Do you want to hear about motivation? Do you want to hear about skills? Do you want to hear from people like Carlene more often? Like, what do you want to hear about? Let us know, and we will try to create as much wonderful content for you as we can. So thanks everybody for being here. I hope you have a super motivated, supercharged end of your year. And you too, Carlene, amazing job with having 2 books out during a pandemic.
Thank you very
Everybody
much.
go pre-order Carlene's book. And yeah,
you guys are going to do great.
See you.
Congratulations on your, relaunching YouTube. It's a great medium to connect with people. You're going to do great. I'm looking forward to. I'm already subscribed, so
yes,
I'm on board anyway. So
we got Carlene. Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you very much.
All right, Carlene. Well, thanks, and I'm sure you're very busy with your book. So good luck with everything, and we'll see you in another video soon, hopefully. Bye.
Bye.
And thanks everybody for joining. This has been really fun. I hope that we'll be able to do a lot more of these on various topics. And in the meantime, have a great week, and we'll see you somewhere around here soon. Bye.